Hey guys, Jay here and welcome back to the channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. So we are at point critical when it comes to the ETF launch period. And this is definitely going to be a stage where we're going to see a dip in the market. And what I want to do is compare what happened with the BTC ETFs and what kind of movements we're probably going to see, and then try to explain things from my perspective with my understanding to try to get you to better understand why we're going to see this dip moving forward. So what we're going to do is quickly get up to date here, and as we can see across the broader crypto ecosystem, we are seeing that the Ethereum ETFs are getting a major boost with the New York Stock Exchange approval. This news did come out yesterday. It dropped, I think, around 9 o'clock in the evening yesterday for me. I'm very happy about this, but I've also been waiting for this point just because we've got pretty decent data to show us what could possibly happen. So what I've been doing is waiting for a dip like this so I can start getting involved in more positions that I wanted to dollar cost average into, or maybe ones that I haven't yet involved myself in. So there's so much talk around the ETFs, and there's even more talk just around President Trump in general. And we're seeing so much news coming forward that the market itself doesn't really know what is going to set this aside. There's some people saying these ETFs are priced in. I personally don't think they are. I think we're due a nice decent pump, but we're definitely due a little dump beforehand. But having these ETFs push forward pushes more than just crypto prices upwards. This is at a point of pushing proper regulation forward, as to which they can start to involve crypto more into the global financial ecosystem and try to fill those cracks that are starting to appear as time goes on. So let's keep this moving and let's move over to BTC price, because what I want to do is do a pretty short video here where it's not overwhelmingly complex. So what we can see here is on the 10th of January, we had the BTC ETFs launch. So let's zoom in and let's take a look. What we can see here on exactly that point, we see a decent move downwards, around 20% on the day view. But then as soon as that money moves into fiat and then moves into those ETFs then go ahead and they invest it in the correlating asset that is assigned to that ETF. In this instance, it would have been BTC. And what we saw was a substantial move upwards, which pushed us to a new all-time high, which is pretty damn good for that point of the year that we was in. We hadn't quite halved yet. Things are looking very interesting when it comes down to exactly what's going to happen. So now what I want to do is move over to this article that's floating about, which is the Grayscale Ethereum Trust moving it's just over $1 billion worth of ETH to Coinbase. And the honest answer as to what is going to happen, or what's probably happened with these coins, is they're being sold to go into fiat to then be used on the NASDAQ exchange to buy the Ethereum ETFs and move it in to where they originally wanted their funds to begin with. So inherently, this is a situation where the assets go full circle. There's going to be a dump, inevitably to be a pump afterwards as all of those funds begin to flow back in. And there's so much talk around what these ETFs can do. And from my perspective, my current understanding of business economics, financial regulation, and all of the different ins and outs, a cryptocurrency with a centralized body that can be held accountable is far more usable than a system which is more or less the pirate of crypto. And that's not saying it's a bad pirate, for example, but what I'm saying is it's a truly decentralized asset that nobody has any control over. And from the perspective of a business, you would rather have a centralized body that, like I said, you can hold accountable. I think we're going to be seeing a considerable amount of retail flowing into Ethereum. And I think Ethereum's bound to move up to that $8,000 to $10,000 range per coin during this bull run. But for what we're seeing right now, I would definitely say this is something that inherently we knew was coming. We were preparing for it, and we've been waiting for this dump so we can start to, like I was saying at the beginning, think about what we want to be involved in that we didn't get a chance to ape into previously. And there may be positions that you're up on currently that you may want to liquidate to get involved in something that's far more interesting in this attention-based market. And that's such an important point because cryptocurrency holders have short memory. They're always looking for the next big thing, the next piece of news. Everything moves thick and fast in crypto. So I'm expecting to see a pretty decent inflow. And what I mean by this, if we look at the Ethereum chart now, and we look once again here at the point of the BTC ETF launching, the point of it bottoming out and beginning to move back upwards, we get a substantial move from Ethereum as well. Once again, around that 90% range, around the same as what BTC moved. So we're probably going to see them move both in sync. Now, throughout this period, the likelihood is we're going to be seeing Donald Trump speak at BTC Nashville. And the reason why this is becoming so important is because of the timeline between the 10th and the bottoming out here, which is on the 26th. So if we think about the timeline of when these ETFs are getting approved, it could be that we see a bottom out far sooner than we was going to previously. Now, I was saying about BTC more or less being the pirate of the ecosystem, and what I wasn't getting at there is it being this negative kind of using of the word. Instead, it's free. It doesn't abide by any centralized body. It doesn't have a group of people that are responsible for it. It is inherently the most decentralized coin in the ecosystem. It can't be cheated. You can't sway Bitcoin. You can't convince it with bribes. It is what it is at this point. But the fact that we're starting to see different articles like this, and you definitely have to take things like this with a huge pinch of salt because it's a bold statement. And it's the fact that Trump is eyeing Bitcoin reserve for the US. And this is coming from CNBC. So once again, taking it with a grain of salt. But this is all stuff that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and previous to that, you would have never thought to yourself that the whole Bitcoin narrative, the whole cryptocurrency narrative is starting to revolve around the presidential sector, the financial sector. It's starting to be taken very seriously. And if you're someone who's been holding on throughout all of this point leading up to the bull run, my hat goes off to you, because it's at this point millionaires are made, and do not find yourself left behind. I think this is all really good stuff. I think this is a good explanation as to why we are seeing this price pullback currently, why we're seeing different coins being hit. The market is waiting for all of these different things to take hold, and everybody's waiting to see what is possibly going to send us into the stratosphere, but nobody's got a crystal ball at the end of all of this. So you have to take everything with a pinch of salt, and we're all human at the end of this. But I'm very excited to see these ETFs finally getting approved. I think the focus ETF wise is probably going to shift to Solana and then probably XRP after that. With XRP launching their stable coin in the coming months ahead, it's going to get very interesting for XRP in general. There's so much stuff going on at the moment, but what I'm waiting for is what everybody is waiting for, and it's the final judgment. Once that rolls out, I think XRP is going to absolutely break loose, and it could be a possible factor that XRP is the exact piece of news we need to send everything up into the stratosphere, because the money that is going to be coming into XRP is retail based, and that's the same as Ethereum. It's the same as BTC. So these are really important points moving forward this week. And there are a lot of different things to absorb, but definitely, like I was saying, don't find yourself in a situation where you're left behind. Try to think carefully about what you want to be involved in. Do you want to be involved in something that's currently developing? It's going to take a couple of years for it to get to its peak point. Is it going to be viable during this bull run? Or do you want to be holding something that could possibly make you a millionaire? Let me know in the comment section what you've been investing in recently. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. And aside that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.